Again, revolutionary love to you all. My name is Samori Camara. I'm a member, proud member of the Hot Black Coffee Party of Queen. That's right. How do you fix the problem? That's a big question. It's a simple answer.
That's right.
Very simple. Before I begin that, I'd like to ask you a question. Would you get on a plane that takes off and lands safely 55% of the time? 55% of the time? Would you, for the ladies here, would you go to a hairdresser that only gets your hair right 55% of the time? No. Would you go to a restaurant that only gets your food right the first time 55% of the time?
No.
So why do we send our children to these schools that only get it right 55% of the time?
That's right.
True that.
The dropout rate for black people all across this country is 50%. Easy. But we're not doing anything about it. Something must be wrong with our values. Because we see the problem, and it's the African proverb that says that if you study a problem well, you can see a solution. You can see the solution, right? So, if we're not doing something about it, something must be wrong with us. I was watching National Geographic Channel. Right, I just got cable after a couple of years. I didn't have cable for a while because I didn't need it. I definitely didn't want black exploitation television or any of those other channels. Right, but I was watching the National Geographic Channel, and they were showing a wildebeest having a baby on a Serengeti. Right, it was talking about how when a wildebeest has a baby on the Serengeti, that baby has to learn how to walk and run with the adult herd very quickly, or it can become hyena food. Right? So, as I'm watching that, they show the wildebeest having the baby, and the camera pans to a hyena. His head is down, his teeth are bare, he's ready to eat. Right? So the mother, wildebeest, steps in front of her child to protect her baby from that hyena. But the camera pans again, and we see another hyena coming up. And then another hyena. And then another hyena is coming up. So now this mother wildebeest is surrounded by all of these hyenas, while 5 other hyenas eat her baby. Now the crazy thing about the situation was that there was about 1,000 other wildebeest standing around watching this, continuing to graze, only looking up every once in a while to see what was going on. They could have helped that mother wildebeest save her baby, but guess what? They said it ain't my baby. Since it ain't me. How are we allowing our children to be destroyed in these schools? Destroyed by the things that are coming out of the radio, destroyed by the things that are coming out of the television, right? But we do nothing about it because we say, that ain't my baby. Or, some of us do something about it, right? There are 4 kinds of bones in our community, in our organizations, and I'm sure all of you can relate to this, right? There's the one bone, that is the wishbone. That person who is always wishing somebody else would solve our problems for us. And nobody else is going to solve our problems for us.
That's right.
Right? You're always talking about what legislation are we going to get passed? Whose pocket are we going to grease? Who are we going to put in office to solve our problems? Nobody don't care about your problems.
True that.
A black man and woman has no friends anyway. Who is our friend? Name somebody who's our friend.
Okay.
Where are they when our children are being shot down in the streets? Where are they when our children are being miseducated in the public school system? Where are they? Then you have those jawbones. Those people who talk, they talk so eloquently about our issues. They're talking all day, jawbones. Every day they're talking about the problem, but there's somebody that said, when you make an observation, you got an obligation to do something about it.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Then you have those knucklebones. Those people who come around and only want to tear down your ideas. Only want to play devil's advocate. But we know the goddamn devil don't need no advocate.
That's right.
At all. Got enough. Enough of them look like us. So they don't need no more devil's advocate. But then there's their last bone. The backbone. Those people in our community who are not in front of a microphone. But who are quietly going about the work to liberate our people. Those people who are building those institutions, those schools, and those businesses. Those people who are not wishing or waiting for anybody else to do anything for them. If they happen to help, fine. But we're going to be doing it ourselves. That's what the backbone says. I'm going to ask you, are you a backbone or are you a wishbone? Are you a backbone or are you a jawbone?
They better say
Are you a
backbone.
backbone or are you a knucklebone? Which one are you?
Better be a
Because
backbone.
if our situation is as it is right now, most of us are not backbones. Most of us can't be backbone. I could be teaching at the University of Alabama or Louisiana Slave University, where I got 2 degrees from, right now, with a PhD. But I'm not. I started a school because I understand to solve this problem, African people must develop their own institution. No mammal in nature sends their baby to another to be educated by them.
That's right.
None.
That's right.
Well, we can talk all this stuff about what Europeans have done and continue to do, but we still send our babies right to them. And the European will never, ever educate his enemy to take power away from him.
That's right.
It just won't happen. It just won't happen, right? There are a number of different ideas. Somebody said that you don't want to go into the middle schools. I taught in middle schools, taught elementary, I taught high school, I teach on the college level now. There's a story about Death Valley in California. It's the driest place in the world, right? I mean, one of the driest places, definitely here in the United States of America, right? But something happened, I mean, nothing wrong with it, but something happened in the summer of 2004 and 2005, right? Death Valley usually only gets 2 inches of rain every year, but during that winter, it got 7 inches of rain. So when the spring came, the floor of Death Valley was littered with beautiful flowers, right? I mean, from just the eye, as far as the eye can stretch, flowers were there. People came all across the country to see this, to take pictures, because they didn't know when this would happen again, right? So that told me something. It's not that Death Valley was dead. It was that the circumstances weren't right, the environment wasn't right, nobody was there to bring the rain to allow that to grow. Our children are the same way. We have to be those cultivators who plant the seeds, right? We can't make the seeds grow, but we can make sure that they get the nourishment, the encouragement, right? The expectations, the kind of knowledge that they need to be the kind of Africans we need them to be. I said Africans. You have to know you're African, right?
Yes.
Some of us don't believe that. Some of us don't believe that. This man, he's from Africa. We are from Africa as well. Because whether you're from there or not, Africa was born in you. We understand that? Hopefully we do. There are 3 processes in education. You have the curriculum, you have the pedagogy, and you have the assessment. Right? Now, how do we solve our problem? Our curriculum must be African-centered. It must be based on who we are as a people.
Right.
Dig that.
At the core of it. If our education is not teaching us how to deal with the problems of our community, then we're being miseducated. And the vast majority of us have been miseducated.
That's right.
Right? We have a whole bunch of people with black, black MBAs and all this kind of stuff, Masters in Business Administration, and you ask them, "Oh, you going to start a business?" No, I'm going to administer somebody else's business. Really, we got more degrees than we ever had ever.
That's true.
And we're in a worse place than we were ever.
Ever.
Amen. True that.
We free, right?
No.
Right? We got all this education. Why do we have all these problems that we have? The next piece is the pedagogy. Right? It's the way we teach our children. Certainly children learn in different ways. Right? And our education, though, must be not only intellectual, but practical. Right? Because math makes a lot more sense if you learn how to run a register. Right? Music makes a lot more sense if you're building a playlist. Or English and language makes a lot more sense if I'm asking you to write an essay about the environmental racism that's going on in our community. Right? So next, assessment. Assessment. This state and many other states, they focus on the test, teaching for the test. And we see all these school systems cheating. Atlanta, Houston, the teachers are cheating so that they may get bonuses because their children are passing the test. So they'll just go and they'll stand right next to the student. They'll wait till they point to the right answer and then walk away. Cheating because we got a pay-for-play kind of situation going on. And that's important. Back to the curriculum. Our curriculum must not be standardized. It must be customized and Africanized.
Yes.
People like to be around.
Yes, Lord.
Standardization, but customization and Africanization.
Yes.
Right? There's no such thing as an equal education. It's a relevant education that we need, because you can educate a black boy and a white boy in the same classroom and they're going to get 2 different educations.
That's true.
Right? Because he is educated to continue to have power in this country. We are educated to be educated servants of Him.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Makes sense. True that.
Here's my last thing.
Give it up.
Our curriculum, our schools must have a rites of passage component to it. In Africa, we had rites of passage programs, right? In Mali, in Ghana, in Songhai, wherever you go, there was a rites of passage. Teaching our men, or our boys and our girls how to be men and how to be women. You teach them everything else, right?
Yes.
They learn how to do English and math and all that kind of stuff, but they don't know how to deal with each other on a personal basis. So one of the reasons why we got 7 out of 10 children, raised outside of a two, or born out of wedlock because we don't know how to have relationships with each other as adults.
That's right.
Never learn those things. So we have to have that as a part of our curriculum, right? And again, it must be teaching us how to solve our challenges that we have in our community. When the tree, it's an African proverb, like you might do this. When your orange tree in the backyard begins to produce bitter grapes, hear me. When your orange tree in the backyard begins to produce bitter grapes, it is not enough to pick all the grapes off the tree and hope for oranges next year. You got to cut that tree down and start again. The school system as it is right now must be cut down. We have to start our own.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Give me that. That was good delivery, man.